everybody, I'm at That Guy's Sub Shop and Arcade in Roanoke, Virginia, and I just stopped in to take a little bite before I head over to B&D Comic Shop. Today we're talking about non-mainstream comics that sit outside the Marvel and DC territory. And I will be the first to tell you, when it comes to comic books, I love Marvel and I love DC. But for all the Spider-Man and Batman comics that are out there, you're going to find other great characters like Rick Grimes, Hellboy, and many others. So this is just our opportunity to talk about it a little bit and share with you that there's a lot of cool stuff out there that you might not know about. For example, Boom Studios makes the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book. If you are a fan of the series and you enjoy comic books, you would enjoy this one because it has a very manga art style that you would enjoy, and it stays very true to the characters of Power Rangers. In addition to that, for all my gaming friends that are out there, hey, Pathfinder by Dynamite Studios. They do a lot of really cool books out there. This is only one of them. They also do Red Sonja. Fans of the Harry Dresden series will find some really cool books over there as well. And one of my personal favorites, Army of Darkness. They've been doing Army of Darkness comics for a long time. Finally, another great studio that I want to tell you about is IDW. IDW does a lot of really cool stuff with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And a lot of you probably already know that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have been comic books for a very long time, and that's how they started out. But you might not know where to find them now. They're still out there, they're still having lots of adventures. Currently they're hanging out with Batman, if you can believe that. So a lot of really cool stuff that's out there. There's also great things going on over at Image. Image Comics has some really cool comic books like Saga, Manifest Destiny, drawn by our friend Matthew Roberts, who we've done an interview with not too long ago. And so there's really great stuff that's out there. I have some more stuff that I want to talk about, and all the great reasons why you should check out comic books that aren't mainstream. But for the moment, I'm going to hang out, enjoy my sub from Fat Guy Subs. And I'll see you guys in a little bit once I get to B&D Comics. That's good. That's real good. Okay, everybody, here we are. I am at B&D Comics, my home for Free Comic Book Day, which you can see is on May 7th. And we're going to talk a little bit more about independent or non-mainstream comics. Basically, comics that aren't Marvel and DC. So we're going to go inside, check them out, and see what we can find. Okay, everybody, here we are inside B&D Comics. You can see all sorts of fun stuff around me. And I showed you a few pictures of some of the independent comics that they have here, but that is by far not the end of it. There's a ton of independent comics, and the ones that are here are actually the ones that have made it past that initial stage where they can actually come out to a lot of your local comic book stores. They're able to advertise, but they're still considered independent comics and definitely outside the mainstream. Once again, like I said, I love Marvel, and there's a lot of DC that I love too, but there's just something really awesome about these other comics. I mean, if you think about it, almost every comic book that is part of our culture, Wonder Woman, Superman, these comic books didn't start off as fully mainstream ideas. They were very independent. Superman was made by just a couple of guys who thought they had a pretty good story, a pretty good idea, and wanted to talk to you about it and wanted to show you what their idea of the Superman was. And I'm pretty sure that what we have now is nowhere near close to what it was back then, but it is what it is. Additionally, just think about all the movies that have come out recently that are based off of comic books. Some of them are based off of independent or non-mainstream comic books. If you think about it, I'm sure you can think of a horde of movies and TV shows that originally started off as comics. Like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff out there that you may not have even known originally was a comic book, but it's something that you've been enjoying for years and years. And each one of those are very important. There's a story that needs to be told that fans have been enjoying for a long time, and because people put some faith into it, bought the comics, enjoyed those stories, now we get to see them in television and movie form. Lots of cool stuff. I really could sit here and talk about each one individually and how important it is, but bottom line is you need to go check it out. And not only at your local comic book shop, because you can find a lot of stuff here, and if you don't see something that you're looking for at your local comic book shop, you can probably get them to order it for you. Many comic book shops are happy to order comic books that may not be selling into a larger audience, but if you want it, they can find it for you and they'll have it shipped to their store so you can pick it up. But beyond that, go to your local Comic-Cons or even some of the pawn shops and things like that. You'll find comic books that didn't even make it this far, that were just made by local artists and writers who probably live in your area, who want to do the same thing. They want to tell those stories and have fun doing it. I know that in some smaller locations you guys might not have a Comic-Con right outside your back door, but if you drive a little bit and look for it on the internet, I'm sure you'll find them, and you'll find lots of great artists and authors whose works that you can enjoy. As a matter of fact, I have a few of those at home, which I plan on doing some reviews on very soon. So anyway, there's that. That's about all I have for this video. I know Keyo has a little bit more information that she wants to give to you guys, so I'm going to throw it back over to her. You guys have a lot of fun, and I'll see you next time.
Hey guys, Keyo here, and yeah, I cleared off my desk just so I could show you guys a little portion of my collection. As the Corel Bow was saying, there are a lot of comics that come from independent comic book companies, and I'm here to talk about a major one. Now there are a few kind of stacked in here, but there's one company in particular that I've been following since the ripe age of 16. I was fresh in the middle of high school or whatever. Now, the name, which most of you guys probably have not heard, but just to let you guys know, a little secret. Does this book look familiar to a lot of you? Probably. It is the wonderful works of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac from Jonan Vasquez, from the marvelous company Slave Labor Graphics. I've been following slave labor for the past going on 11 years. Now through this collection, besides Johnny, Jonan has actually done many other things. And if you aren't aware of Johnny the Homicidal Maniac, Jonan is the great creator of Invader Zim that used to air on Nickelodeon. More works from just Jonan himself, and for those of you who are big fans of his work, we also have Jellyfist, which was a collaboration with J.R. Goldberg. More artists from SLG go to include FSC, which if you are a huge fan of artistic style, definitely check her work out. It is very, very nitty-gritty and I love it. It's just so well done. They were also the company to go ahead and publish the Haunted Mansion series. And fun fact, in the Space Row comic book, if you go to like the second page, I actually have artwork in there from many, many years ago. Another great indie company for you guys to definitely check out is Archaea. Their logo looks like that, like The God Machine by Miss Chan. Nick and Alex. The Awakening. If you like zombies and dark comic books, once again, definitely check this out. But then we go on to have Image Comics. Sirius is the home of Dedi by Voltaire, if you guys have checked out his music or gotten his comics. And a few other companies to name is Evil Ink Comics. If you guys liked Coheed and Cambria back in the day, they actually put out a comic book that was based off of their Good Apollo and Burning Star 4 CD, The 30 Days of Night comics by IDW. And then we also have like comics such as Grim Fairy Tales, which this is a big one, that is also from an indie-based company, Xenoscope. And very, very amazing art style if you guys like this kind of work. It's almost along the lines of like a Marvel type, but it's just not Marvel. To go alongside what Corelbo was saying about people in your local area that may be developing comics on their own time, a few friends that I used to go to conventions with do their own comics. And I was lucky enough to actually pick up some of them so I could show them off in this. Definitely give a peek-see or ask your local comic shop if they've run into anybody that does their own comics so you can get your hands on them before they get big. But yeah, there are a lot of comic book companies, a lot of comics, and a lot of people just trying to get into the comic industry nowadays. So take a look-see around, go to some conventions, befriend a lot of artists, and get your hands on a lot of comics. So yeah guys, other than DC and Marvel being the two most prominent comic book companies out there, there are many, many, many other ones. SLG has actually been around since, I believe, the 80s. Like I said, they're still around to this day, which we will go ahead and put the link in the description below for you. And if you would like to go ahead and check out any of these, I'm going to try to put all the links in the description for the different companies so you guys can definitely check them out for yourselves. So that is all that I have for you guys. I loved being able to show off a little portion of my comic collection with you. And if you guys would like to see anything else or hear any other amazing stories, please just leave a comment down in the comment section. And now back to Mr. Corelbo.
Hey Citizen Nerds, this is the Corelbo from the State of the Nerd. Did you enjoy this video? Great! Don't forget to check out our other social media outlets so that you can get even more nerdy stuff in your daily life. We're on Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram. Just type in State of the Nerd and you'll find us pretty easily. Also, we'd really like it if you'd hit the like button on this video, and we'd love it if you subscribe to the channel. If you liked the video, leave some comments. If you didn't like the video, leave some comments anyway. We love comments. And me and Keyo are going to be making some more videos which are going to be coming soon, so please keep watching. Thank you much.